on it, and we'll go from there.
Like I was saying last night, I do think we should definitely look into that DOJ thing where they're offering to basically tell us exactly how to do this data and we sign up. Because the other thing is, it's rare that the federal government offers free money and stuff. So like, I don't know that that deal is going to be like on the table forever. So I don't know. It just seems like a lot of money to leave on the table and not look at when people are like, yeah, we can give you exactly what you need and train you and it's free.
Can I answer?
Yes,
Everything, 2, spreadsheets, 3, internet, portal.gov.
I'm sorry?
Those are my answers. What do we want? Everything, all the data available. 2, how should it be available? Spreadsheets. 3, available via the internet, portal.gov.
Yes.
Okay, can you give me an example of everything? What is it you?
Well, what data do they keep?
Well, that's not the question. The question is, what data do you want them to collect?
Okay, I want them to collect all data statistical data.
Arrests, did you say?
Arrests, searches, discipline of officers, CRC complaints.
I do know what they are.
Yeah. Oh, that too.
He has.
Every citizen contact should be documented.
What about a simple, you know how they have those skills when you go into the hospital? And it's like, how much is your pain? 1 through 5? Yeah. Why not get an idea to the officer's own subjective world of how they're feeling at the time? And I know it might sound really trite, but it might be a metric point that people that develop all these algorithms confuse with respect to other data points. So
When would you want to ask them how to implement? When they're arresting you or something?
I don't know, what do you guys think?
I think it's inclusive, what you're saying. I think it's inclusive.
I don't know that I trust
what
you
about
being on this answer.
Because it's subjective data, you
Yeah.
couldn't ask at any point, at any part of the process.
What about mandatory
And
public
then
laws?
yeah, once that the subjective data has been qualified, it can also be quantified.
What about mandatory health and wellness and like emergency mental health, where we know that our officers are in some traumatic mode, they're getting the care that they have, so they don't go and apply and that they haven't re-binged back on their alcohol problem or their squirrel hunting.
They come from the
problem or
military,
whatever.
some of them, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
What
so,
do they do in the military?
I mean,
War.
like Google offers yoga and massage and a buffet of healthy food. I'm not against cops having a nice lifestyle if it actually helps them be more holistic towards a caretaking responsibility towards a peaceful society and a utopic vision. Like, I think that would be great. I mean, Moon Cakes and I had a really long talk about that. We were talking about interior design to prevent this police brutality that I expected would be imminent with my friend's mental health. The feng shui, like waterfalls, calming design, and how to de-escalate. Like, not a lot of red, maybe?
And Mary brings up an interesting point. So, if they're a hunter, when was the last time that they got right? When was the last time you killed an animal? You know?
And are they just
That could
sitting
be
around?
squirrel. It could just be an animal, whatever's in season at the time.
And that they're, the harassment that they're experiencing, like in the Hunt case on Hunt Lessons Learned in the Hardesty blog, it's a 2007 case, she was repressed, her whistleblowing was repressed. If the officers themselves are being stifled by the chain of command, they might be more likely to go out and harass. Let's look at Baldwin, not as a supervillain, but as a man who might be abused by his superiors.
Try to get us back on
I
topic.
appreciate the comments you've made, and I'd like you to all think about the question. The question is, what data would you like to have the Portland Police collect? In what form, and how do you want them to make it accessible to you? And we will talk, I will come to this meeting again next month, and we can talk about it more at that time.
I have a one, like, how many people actually come from the United States military and get hired into Portland
Yes,
Police
we
Department?
talked about that last night. It's on
A
the-
lot.
lot, yeah.
Well,
They say it's none, right? They say it's hardly any.
No, they give preference to vets and everything.
I know, but then when I ask them, like, what's the percentage of the people who came from the military? Because I was in the
I would
military.
say at least half.
They don't know. They tell me, oh, I don't know. And it's just, wow.
Never met a police department that wasn't like half that.
Excuse me.
I know this.
Excuse me. So if it's if it's a response to the question about data,
That was
I
that.
would,
Veteran status can be data.
That was that,
I
right?
want to move to another topic, but, so if it's a data, something specific to data for Rochelle, Keith.
I think there should actually be a data referring to, you know, the racial makeup of the arrests of the officers, and to see if there is a higher number of, you know, black people or you know, people from, you know, other countries, or just, you know, and you could really see if these people, these police are more targeting certain, specifically going after people due to race, and, you know, because there are certain neighborhoods that might have more black people, so obviously they're gonna deal with more black people in that neighborhood. But there's a lot of areas like southeast Portland, like Colony Flats, where a lot of people are white. So if you still see the same officer and they're mainly targeting black people, or black people are coming up, or, you know, Latinos or whatever, you could show that this police officer is biased towards and doing racial profiling. And also, I think, you know, any officer with complaints by mentally ill people against them, or that have been involved in police shootings and, you know, really escalated situations, I think they should be pretty much on a blacklist where they're never called to deal with mentally ill people, and where they're never called to deal with intense situations like
How would you do that? I mean, how would you know if the person making a complaint was mentally ill or not?
It's more, you know, if someone calls and says, my son's mentally ill, he's in crisis mode, barricade in his bedroom, then don't have any officers like Kyle Nice or people who have killed mentally ill people come to there, or, you know, Fresh Hour or people like that. Like, maybe they could actively see who's good at de-escalation on force, because there are some cops that are actually pretty good at de-escalation and that are known for de-escalation. And you could probably get certain names from a lot of the cop watchers and people in the community and community activists that have actually dealt with the police a lot, and know by name the ones that are more the ones that escalate a situation and de-escalate a situation.
Lisa?
Also, there is I don't know if you've heard of, there is like an organization called TIPS, has anyone heard of that? And they come on the scene to deal with mental crisis, like that young girl that was out there near, like, I think 162nd and Riverside, out that way. He crossed the line, got hit by a car, you know. That's what they do, they come to aid to mental crisis situations. When cops get there, you can look them up online. I can also get her information and put it on my Freedom Life and Justice for All page too as well.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. Statistically, what I would like to see is when officers are involved, when officers are assaulting citizens, we all know that. But when officers like the sister from my mom or James Chassie or Van Camden, they should be mandatory drug tested if they use excessive force or kill someone. Mandatory on the spot.
Right.
Drug tested. Because a person can be high on cocaine. If if you guys don't even know it, it could be out of system in 3-4 days if y'all don't know it. They need to be a mandatory drug test on the scene, or when they get back up to the next shift, mandatory drug test. If anyone is physically assaulting an officer or a police involved shooting, mandatory drug test.
30 seconds.
Oh, I just had one thing you were saying, data that might be relevant. I get that you don't want to give exact addresses, but it might be helpful, like at least cross streets or something, because yeah, if you're getting in a ton of excessive force things in a 20-block radius, then yeah, you want to know, like, okay, obviously the cops in this neighborhood are, doing things different, so, obviously you don't want to give people personal address, but maybe at least if you could have cross streets or some idea geographically of like, how close these calls are.
Shorter than that, you say we have 950 officers, is that about right?
Yes.
Okay, I want 950 loyalty oaths that they did not belong to a Nazi party or any hate organization. As a hate bias prevention, maybe we can get DOJ to coordinate that with their Office of Civil Rights. Number two, procedurally, anybody like the procedural idea that if we have, somebody has a good idea, like I think Felix had a good idea, if we just did a little symbolic vote to represent democracy, and we could express our outrage or, pros and cons, and kind of see what the balance is, and do it just kind of as a game to test the public sentiment.
They had a taser within certain commands, and to the extent it's used, and there's no, I don't think they're keeping any medical records of what's happened to the victims of tasing. I don't think there's any data.
Or head injuries.
Yeah, and it's a huge issue because you can have impacts that we're not even accustomed to affording, and there's serious impacts from the use of those. And I see the culture as disregarding it as, oh, I tased myself 3 times.
That's exactly what
And so, is there a pattern under certain leadership? We should gather some data, somehow that those tasers are being used.
Nice taser.
We're gonna move to an item that's not on the agenda.
Y'all should taste me before. It wasn't, I didn't get no attention.
Several people have